If you are over the age of 65, there is a good chance that what you're about to hear could matter more than most advice people offer at this stage of life. When you reach this age, life rarely becomes difficult because of dramatic mistakes or sudden disasters. More often, peace is disrupted by smaller things: careless conversations, information shared with the wrong person, or the habit of explaining yourself when it isn't necessary. For many older adults, the loss of calm doesn't come from aging or health challenges alone. It often appears when too much is said, when trust is given at the wrong moment, or when someone feels obligated to justify personal choices. These ideas are not abstract theories. They come from decades of lived experience, years of relationships, family interactions, and lessons learned through time. After 65, peace is influenced less by what you actively do and more by the things you decide not to say. There is an important truth that people rarely mention. Certain parts of your life are better kept private. Not because you are hiding anything, but because protecting your boundaries helps preserve the peace you have worked so long to build. Let's start with the first lesson. Never reveal the complete truth about your financial situation. By the time you reach 65, money represents far more than numbers in an account. It reflects an entire lifetime, years of work, sacrifices made, opportunities taken or missed, and careful planning along the way. For that reason, finances should remain a personal matter. Many older adults unintentionally lose their sense of calm by discussing money too openly. When others believe you are financially comfortable, expectations often shift quietly. Some people begin to assume you no longer need support. Others may start asking for advice, assistance, or favors they would not normally request. Even within families, sharing too many financial details can gradually alter relationships. It can create pressure or silent tension that lingers beneath otherwise pleasant conversations. Speaking openly about financial hardship brings its own difficulties. Sometimes it invites criticism disguised as concern, unwanted suggestions, or sympathy that feels heavier than silence. People may begin treating you differently, either with distance or excessive protection. Neither response supports dignity or comfort. Maintaining privacy is not the same as being secretive. At this stage of life, it is simply a wise form of self-respect. You do not owe anyone a detailed explanation about what you have or what you lack. Often, peace begins when financial matters stop being public conversation and become a quiet, personal boundary. The second lesson is about family disagreements. It is wise not to share every conflict within your family with others. After many decades together, family relationships carry a great deal of history. Even small disagreements can hold deep emotional meaning because they are connected to years of shared experiences. Speaking openly about these issues might bring temporary relief, but it can also create long-lasting consequences. When someone listens to a story about conflict with your children, siblings, or relatives, they are hearing only a small part of the situation. Their understanding is shaped by a single moment or emotion rather than the entire relationship. Even if the issue is later resolved, the opinion they formed may remain. You may forgive and move forward, but the person you confided in might continue to view your family member through that earlier judgment. That can subtly influence how they speak about or treat them in the future. There is another effect as well. Every time you repeat the story, you revisit the pain connected to it. Instead of letting the experience fade, the memory becomes stronger. At this stage in life, emotional energy is valuable. Peace grows when you conserve it rather than reopening wounds that no longer need attention. This does not mean ignoring real problems or pretending life is perfect. It simply means practicing discretion, choosing carefully where and with whom certain conversations belong. Protecting your family's privacy often protects your own sense of calm as well. The third lesson involves personal regrets and past mistakes. As people grow older, reflection naturally becomes part of life. Looking back may bring memories of decisions you would change, words you wish you had never spoken, or opportunities that slipped away. These thoughts are part of being human. However, openly sharing every regret can sometimes create more weight than relief. When people hear about your past mistakes, they may listen with interest, but not always with empathy. Some may judge your choices without understanding the circumstances that existed at the time. Others might quietly redefine who you are based on something you once did, rather than who you have become since then. This can influence how others view your wisdom and experience. There is also a personal cost. Talking repeatedly about regrets can reopen emotional wounds that were slowly healing. It keeps your attention tied to the past instead of the life that is still unfolding. At this age, time becomes especially valuable. Peace often comes not from public confession, but from quiet acceptance. Growth does not require explaining your past to everyone around you. Some lessons are meant to stay within you, guiding your choices without needing to be spoken aloud. You are not obligated to relive old chapters of your life for someone else's understanding. Forgiving yourself privately is often far more powerful. Before continuing, there is one small but important point worth mentioning. As people grow older, maintaining mental clarity becomes part of protecting overall well-being. Many individuals begin noticing small changes, misplaced names, shorter attention spans, or feeling mentally tired sooner than before. These changes are common with age. Just as the body requires care, the mind benefits from support as well. Some people choose simple ways to support cognitive health. For those who have asked, a link has been placed in the description to a product called NeuroZoom, which focuses on supporting memory and concentration through carefully selected nutrients. It does not rely on stimulants or habit-forming ingredients. It is not presented as a cure or guarantee, simply an option people may explore privately if they wish. Now let's return to the discussion. The fourth lesson involves fears related to aging. After 65, thoughts about health, independence, and the future become more present. These concerns are natural and deeply personal. However, speaking openly about these fears with too many people can sometimes increase anxiety rather than reduce it. When you share your worries, people respond in different ways. Some react with alarm, others offer reassurance that feels superficial or dismissive. A few may begin treating you as fragile, even if you remain strong and capable. Gradually, this can change how others perceive you. Instead of seeing the person you are today, they may focus on what they fear you might become. Repeating worries out loud can also strengthen them in your own mind. Thoughts that might have passed quietly can grow into persistent concerns when they are spoken repeatedly. Peace often comes from directing attention toward what remains within your control rather than amplifying uncertainties about the future. This does not mean carrying everything alone. It means choosing carefully where those conversations take place, perhaps with a trusted professional, a close confidant, or in private reflection. Protecting your inner fears from unnecessary discussion allows you to stay present and engaged with life today. The fifth lesson is about plans, decisions, and personal boundaries. As people grow older, their choices are often guided by wisdom gained through experience. Decisions about where to live, how to spend time, or how to manage personal health. These choices are deeply personal. Sharing them too early often invites opinions that complicate matters unnecessarily. When others know your intentions in advance, they may try to influence your decisions. Some may question your judgment, while others offer advice based on their own preferences. Even when these suggestions are well-intended, they can create doubt where confidence once existed. Over time, too many opinions can make simple decisions feel unnecessarily heavy. There is strength in quiet preparation. When you wait until plans are settled before sharing them, you move forward with clarity rather than defensiveness. You avoid the need to justify choices that are already right for you. Boundaries are often strongest when they are demonstrated through actions rather than announced in advance. After 65, peace frequently grows when decisions are guided by personal intention instead of outside noise. Finally, there is one more lesson to consider. You do not need to reveal every detail of your inner world. As people age, many develop a quiet rhythm in life. Moments of reflection, acceptance, and understanding that do not require explanation. Yet some feel pressure to justify why they live the way they do or why they feel content with a simpler lifestyle. But inner peace can weaken when it is constantly explained or defended. When you share too much about your personal mindset, others may misinterpret it. Some might assume your calmness means loneliness. Others may try to fix a life that does not need fixing. Over time, you may begin feeling the need to defend your own happiness. True peace rarely requires validation from others. It grows quietly through consistency and acceptance. You are not obligated to explain why you enjoy your routines, your solitude, or your way of living. After 65, one of the greatest forms of wisdom is recognizing that not every truth needs to be spoken aloud. Some truths are simply meant to be lived, and in that quiet space, a peaceful life often finds its natural balance. If these reflections spoke to you, take a moment to pause and think about them. You might also consider sharing this message with someone who could benefit from hearing it. For more thoughtful conversations about life after 60, peaceful aging, and lessons that come with experience, you can subscribe to the channel. No filter advice. And if you have learned your own quiet wisdom through the years, feel free to share it in the comments. Your perspective might help someone else discover a little more peace in their own life.